Hi there, I'm Marcia Nelson, and I am going to talk today about communication. Communication area language is twofold. Everything that a child hears and takes in sight-wise or sees gestures of and is trying to process and make meaning of, that's the intake, the inflow, the auditory. And then there's the expressive language with which you want to see them become more and more easy as they age. When we left off, we were talking about 3s, 4s, 5s, and we know that at least at 3, a child already has the understanding of 900 so words. That jumps up another 600 or 700 words by the time they've reached 4, and it jumps up again into the 2300, 2400 level of understanding those many words when they're 5. So as we age beyond that, what we're looking for is greater use and facility with the language expressively, and then we go into writing of. And as we write, we doubly understand how we're using words and letters. And then you move from the pictorial, the pictures that you might be doing when you're young, having younger children and reading, to books without any pictures. So we're looking at the whole flow of communication up through literacy skills in school. And children definitely accomplish this with the parents, grandparents, other teachers' help. So let's talk about what to do in a day. You want to make sure as they age beyond 5 that they're using a subject and a verb in their sentences. It's a complete sentence. And they might start with me doing something to I am doing something. And that's important to be listening for so that they understand that you're getting it and you're embellishing on it. You're making it bigger. That's the other thing. You want to exaggerate words and use more words for something that they're learning. If you have big, you also know there's monstrous or there's gargantuan and other big words. They won't catch it the first time, just as if you were learning a new language. You won't learn 3 or 4 words for big, but the same with a child. They will, as you use them, start to understand that, oh, there are other words I can use for that. And thus their writing becomes even more embellished and bigger later on. So then the next thing you want to do is remember to talk about your day, just like you usually ask a child, hey, what'd you do today? And you want to do that very same thing as you're getting into a car. Oh, we're walking to our blue car. And then you might have already had a picture blue when they were younger in a book. And you say, see, this is blue like we had in the book. And that's our blue car. And then you keep talking about what you do. A speech and language therapist gave me this hint. Through the day, she calls it narrate the day. So if you're going down the aisle and looking at certain fruit, you can make a distinction, if they're old enough, between the red apples and the green apples and talk about the skin. And then when you get to peaches in the summertime or banana, show that they're a different texture. And you talk about that texture, and you talk about the colors, and you talk about those things that help them know, oh, this is different. And it certainly tastes different. When you get back at your house, you can cut into different fruits and taste those differences. It's really important. So you do talk about your day. You hopefully read every day. And reading at a younger age can be just through a magazine and pointing to things, a book if you have lots of books, and pointing to the things and naming them and making for bigger, better literacy. You play games that have certain letter sounds, and they've started by 5 to definitely make some of the letters for their name, and they'll know other children's names because they've seen them over and over in the classroom. So if you have other siblings, you could also on the magnetic letters, for instance, on a refrigerator, try to get enough letters to make your sibling, sister or brother to that child's name also. So they start learning their name, and then they start learning the difference of their sibling's name. Provide lots of toys that have learning material and especially around letters, because as we get letters, we get words. As we get words, we get phrases. And then, like I said, listen for subjects and verbs in a sentence. Very important. I'd like to say that you can make a book also, but you write down words that your child is telling you about a certain part of their day. If you have the time, you sit at the table and they say, well, I saw the child care worker, let's say, for instance. You know, her name's Amy. I saw Amy. So you write down child care, a big word, and Amy. And then you say, oh, and what else did you do, like outside? Oh, we played ball. So then just make a picture of a ball, let them help color it in. And then pretty soon they've got Amy and the child care worker or child care center, the name of it, and then the ball and what they did climbing on the jungle gym. And you just embellish with both visuals and verbals so that they know that you're sensing. Now we have cases where children haven't learned to speak. They might have been found out in the wild or found in a war zone, and they have been young and they have not had teachers or parents around them, and we know still they develop communication. So think of the other ways. They learn how to interpret your feelings on your face. They learn how to interpret gestures and sign language. Deaf education has taught us all this about children still being able to build huge vocabularies, even though they've been deaf to hearing the word. So just play and make games and get alphabet letters out, and if you have the tangible books or magazines, and just try to get those things and find out their favorite color, their favorite food, make pictures of them, do all those things with visuals as they're aging up from 5 to 9, and as they reach 8 and 9, they'll be writing all of these things you talk about. So I hope that I've gotten to some of the basics of communication. It's certainly a very, very important area, and I'll be next talking about motor skills, both the fine motor, little finger motor, and large motor, gross motor we call it. All right, keep an eye on your child and have fun while you learn. Thank you so much. I'm Marcia Nelson, and I'm in touch. I'll get out for the beginning of the next video, I'll get out my sign again with the same thing I showed in video 2 and video 3. All right, take care.